Okay, class. We're going to be looking at the first section of Unit 5. It's called Midsegments of Triangles. A midsegment is a segment that connects the midpoints of two sides. Okay, more specifically though, we're going to be talking about midsegments within triangles. Theorem 5.1 says the triangle midsegment theorem. It's if the segment joins the midpoints of two sides in a triangle, then the segment is parallel to the third side and is half its length. So we're going to draw a picture for that. Say we have a triangle, okay? If we draw in a midsegment of this triangle, all right, that means it cuts each of the two sides into equal parts. This is what we call a midsegment. And according to this theorem, it is parallel to the third side. That means these are parallel right here, and then it's half of its length. So if this base was 10, this bottom side was 10, then this would be 5. Okay, and you can actually draw 3 midsegments in a triangle. You could draw the one I just did, and then but see there's like 3. You could do that one, and then that one. So you can have 3 different midsegments in a triangle. All right, so let's do some examples with midsegments. Example 1, in triangle XYZ, M, N, and P are midpoints. The perimeter of M, N, and P is 60, and we are told to find NP and YZ. Okay, so we want to find NP, this one, and YZ. So we want to find that length also. All right, well, what we do know is that the perimeter of M, N, and P is 60. So the perimeter of this little triangle is 60. Well, to get 60, you have to add up all the sides of the triangle. We have 22 plus 24 plus this missing side, mystery side, we'll call it X. All right, plus X has to equal 60. So that's how we can find out what this length right here is. So we take 22 plus 24, we get 46 plus X equals 60. All right, and then to get X by itself, we subtract 46 from both sides. So we get 14 equals X. So we know that this X is 14 right here. So we'll go ahead and fill that in as 14. So we have now found PN, that's 14. All right, so then we're told to find YZ. Well, if you look at YZ, the midpoint, or the midsegment that should be parallel and half its length is MP. If you notice, MP is the midsegment. All right, so it has to be half the length of the base, or half the length of the one it's parallel to. So if it's 22 here, then this segment has to be 44. So we know that YZ is 44, and PN is 14. All right, so let's look at the next example. Identifying parallel segments. It says find angle AMN. Okay, so AMN, let's identify that. That's this one right here. And angle ANM. So we need to find these 2 angles. All right. One thing we do know that we learned from last chapter is ANM is a isosceles triangle. Okay. So we know that these 2 angles are going to be the same once we find them, because base angles on an isosceles triangle are always equal. But what we need to do is we need to use the fact if these are parallel, okay, because NM is a midsegment of this triangle. It's a midsegment, which means it's parallel to the third side. All right, so what happens is we create parallel lines. Pretty much always when you have parallel lines, you need to look for angle pairs. All right, here's a transversal. I'm going to draw the transversal in a different color. We have a transversal here, okay, and this is 75. Then this right here is a corresponding angle, so it also has to be 75. So that tells us that this angle is 75, and the other one also has to be 75. Because it's an isosceles triangle and your base angles are equal. So we had to use parallel lines and a transversal to get that one. Okay, example 3. CD is a new bridge being built over a lake as shown. Find the length of the bridge. Okay, well again, the bridge is a midsegment on a triangle. It's a midsegment because we know these are equal and we know these are equal because they give them to us. So then it means it has to be half of the third side. Here's the third side. So we take 2,640 and we divide that by 2. Okay, and that will give us 1,320, and then it's feet. So that's what midsegments on triangles do for us. They're parallel to the third side and half its length. Okay, thank you for listening. Oh, and your homework. Okay, so we need to give you some homework to work on. So what you're going to do for homework, it's going to be on page 262. So you're going to do page 262, numbers 1 through 20. So that will be homework. It will be due tomorrow. Thank you for listening.